the reality is that there's plenty of beer out there that is cheaper than it should be, and there's plenty of beer that's more expensive than it should be. Yes, consumers have the right to complain about pricing. When you go to a store, if something seems expensive, if you're buying a car, you can haggle them. Should we have that? Should we have that sort of thing in a tap room? Like you come in, you're like, well, I really like your beer, but instead of 19, I'm thinking 17.50. Like, no. The thought that beer should be cheap, I think, is because beer has, for 30 years, has cheapened itself. The wine industry has done the exact opposite. They've made $9 wine seem luxurious. I'm not charging what I'm charging because I think the consumer will pay for it. I'm charging what I'm charging because my business doesn't survive if we charge less. We have an $11 4-pack, we have a $19 4-pack. That's as expensive as we go. And the $11 4-pack is priced because I think both stylistically, the cost of the beer, and I think what the beer should cost is $11 a 4-pack. That's Goody Two Shoes Kolsch. Hair Razor Double IPA, $19 a 4-pack. It's got $5,000 worth of ingredients in it. It's got more hops than any beer I've ever made. It takes much longer to make. To me, to complain about that is fine. Don't drink it. I'm okay with that. That doesn't hurt me as a business. What hurts me as a business if you say it's not good enough or it's not worth its price.
We definitely get complaints all the time about everything. Pricing is definitely one of them. I sometimes battle on the internet forums with people who are complaining about price and try to justify why our beer costs what it does. For us, it's about where we're located, the cost to do business in the Boston metro area. Everett actually has higher business taxes than Boston, and people don't know that. And so little things like that all add up into the final product. Like, we can't compete with rural Vermont brewery pricing because we don't have the same cost structure, and a lot of that also has to do with what we pay our employees. It's not cheap. I think a study I saw the other day was like, you need to make at least like $80,000 to afford a 1-bedroom apartment in Boston, and traditionally a brewer makes about $30,000 a year. That doesn't work for us in Boston to be able to pay someone that small amount. They have to make more in order to just live. So our salaries are higher. I think all that combines into we need to make a healthy profit margin so that we can continue to grow, and we also want to take care of our employees and cover the higher cost of doing business in this area.
Now you see IPAs that can be $20, $22 for a 4-pack. If it works for a brewery to sell that price, awesome. We probably could go that high if we really wanted to, but I think our goal is always to be as affordable as we can be while still running like a profitable, growing business. We try to pass down our savings to the customer whenever we can. So a good example of that, it's not really cans, but we used to charge $6 for a 12-ounce pour of our flagship beers. Once we got a bunch of different pieces of equipment that really helped us cut down on costs, we started doing 16-ounce pours in the tap room, but we kept the $6 price point. And it's probably one of the cheapest pints in the area. And we could have totally gone $7 or $8 because we're increasing the volume. But we made it really clear, like, we got new equipment, our costs went down, your costs are gonna go down when you come to our tap room.
Sometimes it really frustrates me, and from an outsider looking in, they always think things are so simple, but it's not that cut and dry ever. We didn't start this business to become millionaires or anything like that, to drive Ferraris. We started this business because we didn't want to sit at desk jobs, and we thought this would be fun. One of my best internet forum lines was someone was complaining about the price of beer in the tap room, and they're like, I don't understand, the beer's made right behind the doors and then they just put it on tap, but it costs just as much as the bar. And it broke down a bunch of different costs that go into operating a tap room. And I came to the realization that I was like, we buy so much toilet paper. I wonder how much toilet paper we actually buy. And I looked it up, and we were spending I think it was like $1,500 a month on toilet paper. And so I said to him, it was like, yeah, we might charge an extra $1 from what you think we should charge for our pints, But you know what? I buy $1,500 worth of toilet paper a month. If that's not a shitty way to spend the extra buck, I don't know what is. And I sort of shut him up, but also got a lot of laughs. But it also was like, hey, you know, like it's not free for us to operate a tap room. Like just because the beer comes behind the door, there are a lot of other costs that goes into providing this space for people to enjoy that has to be accounted for in a pint of beer.
A lot of people don't realize, like, oh yeah, you're running a business and you need to pay people and you have 401ks you're trying to do and health insurance and electricity. You know, there's a lot of stuff, and every once in a while you see someone complain, and the best you can do is offer them like the reasonable explanation and not get into a fight, but it's so tempting.